From cleaning boats to cleaning rivers, Karsten Hirsch, founder of Plastic Fischer, shares how visible impact drives his fight against plastic pollution. So, welcome here in this show, Karsten.
Thank you so much. Very nice to be here.
So today we're joined by Karsten. He's the CEO and founder of Plastic Fisher, a social enterprise tackling river plastic waste in emerging markets. From a childhood moment polishing his family's boat to a building low-cost trash booms, Karsten's journey proves that tangible impact fuels lasting change. We'll dive into his resilience hacks, the thrill of early wins, and why he believes honest action will always beat greenwashing. Welcome, Karsten.
Thanks again.
So I think your life and your mission could fill hours, days. We have to do it in a bit short way. But anyhow, I think every in each place is important to remind the people what this is important about. Um, I mean, you've shared the story of cleaning your family's boat. How did that moment shape your approach to problem solving later in life?
Not sure in which way it really helped me with problem solving, but it really showed me how what motivates me, and this is basically visible change. Because I was asked by my dad to polish the hull of the boat, and I used this sponge to do that, and I really could see immediately the difference from before and after using it, and that motivated me so much at the age of I don't know, 12, 14, something like that, that without complaining, I did like the entire boat. And I still think about this until today, that was actually an early sign of how I can easily work on things very focused if I can see that there is success or a reason to do it.
That's great. I mean, as a kid, you were already environmentally conscious. Or did this come later?
I mean, I spent a good amount of time on the water, on the ocean, and I think, I always cared about the ocean. I always loved being on the water and, being out of the city and more driven towards nature. I was not an environmentalist per se. I think this came really through working with Plastic Fisher, but that also shows you don't have to be born as an environmentalist to eventually end up being one.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You studied law. Was it planned to go into the traditional career and maybe support by that environmental friendly solutions? Or what drove you to study law?
Uh, it was I mean, honestly, I didn't have big plans for myself all
Mm.
the time. I didn't envision to be this and that, or at some specific point in my life from an early age onwards. Honestly, school was it was relatively easy for me. I was not a very I was not the best student for sure, but I thought at the end of my school career, well, being a lawyer sounds nice. Running around in a suit and fighting for justice and things like that. So I decided to become a lawyer, and just went into it. I didn't know any lawyer. I didn't speak to any lawyer before. Didn't have a clue about the studies. So I just ended up doing it and yeah, figured out at some point that this is not really my passion, like really sitting in the library for years and studying so much. Nevertheless, I decided also to finish my studies because I invested some decent time into it already, and I felt I didn't have a huge plan what to do otherwise. And after the studies, I went on a trip to Vietnam, and we simply just saw how plastic was ending up in the oceans through rivers. And it was the first time for me being in Asia. So I was really shocked with my two friends that were with me there. And from that moment, we just said, okay, the timing is right. I graduated from law school. I felt like I could move to some new place and really challenge myself in a different way and do some hands-on stuff. And then we just founded the company right right after the vacation. So it was so quick from December on vacation until April founding the company to June living in Indonesia and working on solutions.
Right. Can you describe quickly what exactly your company does?
Sure. Good point. So, Plastic Fischer was founded as the first company in the world to address ocean plastic pollution, but already in rivers. So, we saw how plastic was flowing down the Mekong River in Vietnam, and we realized there is no organization worldwide to tackle it right there. And we thought, why? It seems to come from here, or at least it seems to
Mhm.
be one of the highways of plastic pollution for the ocean. So, we said, let's do something about that. And we invented a very simple technology, a swimming barrier that you can build anywhere in the world.
Mhm.
And it effectively stops the downflow of plastic. And then we hire local people to manage the material also in line with international standards. So we also take responsibility for the material that we stop with our technology. And with this, we also create social impact. So jobs in emerging markets that then create the environmental impact and protect eventually marine biodiversity.
This is super interesting, and you're a fan, of course, of this life cycle things that something is not just put somewhere. The plastic is now from the river, so that's it. That's what I also like about that you're thinking in cycles. So for our listeners, for everybody who listen to us, what happens then? So there is a plastic from the barrier. There are people who are collecting this plastic from the water. What are the next steps where Plastic Fisher is involved?
Yeah, so we are involved from start to finish. We really
Hmm.
just we do the technology, we do the collection of it, we set up sorting facilities to bring the material there, we dry it and we segregate it. We
Hmm.
segregate between recyclable materials that we can sell to local off-takers. It's like PET bottles, aluminum cans, glass bottles. You will always find off-takers. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you will always see that valuables and recyclables are collected and processed somewhere.
Hmm.
Um, but the vast majority of plastic that we collect is not recyclable. This is the stuff that was not picked up by the informal waste sector that actually then ends up in our systems and the rivers. So 95% of the material that we collect is not recyclable, like
Ah,
plastic bags, multi-layer packaging, where you have, as the name says, multiple layers of plastic, usually
yeah.
small food wrappers and things like that. And this material goes to cement plants where it is used as an energy source. So instead of coal, they incinerate this plastic and use it as an energy source. And this is the best available alternative globally to landfilling or obviously open burning or dumping.
Very interesting. You started in Vietnam. Now you are in, you said you emerging markets. Can you share with us how many people are active and in which country you're active if somebody is also interested to join or to support?
Yeah, so we are active in India and Indonesia. So we are in 7 cities in India and in one city in Indonesia, the city where I lived when I founded the company.
Mhm.
And we are also focusing on scaling exactly in these countries. Um, how can people get involved? First of all, subscribe to our newsletter and follow what we do, and we will announce there, what we need. It's very simple at this moment, to be honest, because operationally we are pretty much set. We are 3 people in Germany. We're 80 people, 80 people in India and Indonesia. So really, most of the funding we get goes to the emerging markets, creating jobs, and then the environmental protection. And this is also our model creating the jobs locally, solving the problems locally. So we don't work a lot with volunteers, for example, but we want to receive funding from corporates to then implement it on the ground and create as much impact as we can, so people can tell their colleagues or their CSR heads of their company to get involved with Plastic Fisher or at least check out what we do, and if interested, get in touch. Of course, people can also contribute and collect plastic with us on our website, but it's really spreading the word and getting companies to support us is the best thing that can happen to us.
Mhm. You're describing, of course, you have to limitize yourself because of there's payment needed to get the people on board. There's organization needed, and of course, every help is welcome. How has it felt the first time when you stood in front of all this trash, all this plastic, seeing that there is so much material which the people just throw away without thinking about what it makes, what happens there, what
Yeah.
consequences this mean for our biodiversity, for our world we live in? What made it with you? Do you have a special moment you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I could probably fill the last 10 minutes of our conversation with this answer. I have to try to make it short. Um, so first of all, when I lived there, I lived for more than 6 months on one of the most polluted rivers in the world, the Citarum in Indonesia. And the first time I went there, I was insane because I've never seen that much pollution in my life. And I lived there then for 6 months. And at some point, you don't realize that anymore. And that's one of the things that happens if you grow up in a very polluted place. There is something you can call pollution blindness. This is the reality for the people there. It is always polluted. It has been polluted. So it doesn't make a difference if you throw your plastic bag to this huge place of pollution. It just doesn't make a difference. And we had an experience at a dam that we visited where small kids were playing in a huge garbage filled riverbank. And for us, it was insane. It's actually part of our fundraising GoFundMe video, like 5 years back. You can see us being there. And yeah, it opened my eyes, but it also showed me for these kids, this is the reality. And they don't have an alternative. And this is the most important thing. It's easy from Germany to blame people and say, why do they throw it? Why don't they care about the turtles? But where do you put your waste if tomorrow the waste truck is not picking it up anymore? And with all of our consciousness and willingness not to put it in the environment, we will end up doing the exact same thing. But we benefit here in Europe from working waste management systems. So what we need is infrastructure in these countries. And then we need education how to use the infrastructure. But just education or telling people don't throw it, well, where is the alternative here? So it has to come together. There are many things that have to come together to solve plastic pollution. And this is also the call here. No company will solve it by themselves. Plastic Fischer won't do it. The ocean cleanup won't do it. No one will do it by themselves. It needs education. It needs infrastructure. It needs scale globally and yeah, collaboration, complementary collaboration.
I like it how you pointed it out, and I'm absolutely with you. If you live in a reality where living in trash is a reality, if you live in a reality where pollution and having a river filled with plastic bottles, plastic waste is a reality, and you don't know it in a different way, then how how should you know about what you should dream of and where you should fight for and what could be a world without that?
Yeah.
Maybe you are so used to this that you think that is a reality which can't be changed. And I'm absolutely with you. This is exactly that what we need, that we give these people an idea how could it look like differently, and not just about taking away the trash, the everything what is there, but trying to avoid this, changing the spiral of this production, which is not thinking in the circles, right? And I mean, you are someone who said also honest impact will win over greenwashing. Isn't it that you sometimes feel that this is a long way?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there was a time where there was a lot of money to be made with this sustainability umbrella, and a lot of
Yes.
organizations came in and said, I gonna save the world with you. Just give me your money, and we're gonna plant trees, and we're gonna
Yes.
collect plastic, and we're gonna provide you with a alternative to a plastic bag. And it turned out a lot of it was hoax and was actually not compostable plastic, or
Yes.
was not really a better solution to the existing model. And it is very easy to inflate your project or your impact with nice videos, with not so accurate reporting, with just like wishy-washy communication. And this was something that a lot of companies enjoyed for a while, and also organizations that were doing this impact were utilizing to a insane amount. And we were always like, okay, we communicate only fact-based, we report super accurately, and we made our lives with this quite hard because it was already hard to win partners for sustainability or for environmental protection. But then we were also being very, very accurate and limiting our partners what they can talk about. And I feel it's always a trade-off, like to which extent do you want to give a marketing opportunity and to which extent do you want to do just real impact? And I feel there is there is a limit to which extent you can make use of marketing when you talk about impact. And impact costs money. That's something organizations have to understand. And
Mhm.
also, I believe at some point we will see that just nice videos won't solve the problem. And I hope that the big masses of people will understand at some point, and then companies like Plastic Fisher will benefit from it because we always try to do impact first, really real and honest reporting and communication. And yeah, I just believe that this will win over flashy viral videos that might not have the full truth.
I hope so too. I not only cross my fingers, but I will make sure that we will support you further, Karsten. Um, we are coming, unfortunately, today to an end here. I would like to have one short hack from you. What keeps you happy and motivated every morning? Just a short one.
I have a small daughter. She gets me up very early, but always with a bright mood. That helps me getting out of bed. Then I have a great team that is similarly passionate about the topic, and we're fighting a very, very big fight here. And then we create a lot of jobs for people that would never have the opportunity to be full-time employed with health insurance, fair pay, good working conditions. And sometimes I go to these places and I meet these people, and it sounds pathetic maybe, but it's actually the truth. You know, they have tears in their eyes and they are so thankful for this job. They work for us for 4 years now. And yeah, if it's not just the environmental impact, then it's the people for who we change lives, who buy their first trash bin with 60 years of age or send their kids to school. And then it's the smaller things, the social things that help me keep going. Yeah. And it feels
Thank you
like
so,
it's a purposeful
thank you
job
so,
and
so
it's, yeah.
Yes. Thank you so, so much, Karsten. That was a great wrapping moment you shared with us, especially with your small daughter. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. I'm looking forward to connecting dots with you to make the world a better place. Thank you so much for everything you give and bring here to us to make the world a better place. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Annabelle. I really appreciate the opportunity. What we need is visibility and reach to make more people aware of what we do, because just if it really scales, we make a difference. So yeah, thanks a
Thank
lot.
you so much. So, thank you for being part of our community. And until next week, keep shining and empowering others. Together, we rise. Thank you for being with us.